Morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parents Holy Community, Oceania Hundoke with Reverend Yutaki Yamada on this day, Monday, the 24th of May, or the 13th day of April in the 9th year of Chongalgul. So let's begin by offering a bow to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents, Chariot Kyombe. Paro. Let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가족맨세 윷 천일국 주인 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 6. Our family, the owner of Chongalguk, pledges to become a family that moves heavenly fortune by embodying the heavenly parent and true parents, and to perfect a family that conveys heaven's blessing to our community by centering on true love. All right. I'd like to ask Daniel Meadows if you could offer the opening prayer today. Good morning, Daniel. You there? Maybe he's not there. Okay. I'll have to go for someone with their video open. Jeffrey, can I ask you to do the opening prayer, please?
Good morning, Heavenly Parents, True Parents, brothers and sisters. We are gathered here together this morning to prepare ourselves for the day, to bond ourselves together as one family. You have long awaited for the day when we could recognize you as our Heavenly Parent. You have fought long and hard through thousands and thousands of years of human history to recover your lost sons and daughters. You sent many great saints and prophets and Jesus Christ in order to prepare the foundation for building your kingdom. And finally, you have sent our beloved true parents. We've been hearing the testimonies of our beloved true mother, who has also fought long and hard through her incredible life in order to fulfill the mission of Eve. Father, we have a wonderful mother now who is bringing rebirth to all humankind. This is a staggering event that sometimes goes beyond our comprehension to be able to understand this incredible new age we've now entered into that has been long talked about and prophesied and hoped for. We are in a very beautiful and wonderful region in Oceania, the last region in the world possibly to be settled. A young place, Father, with not too much baggage and a wonderful Christian culture that we were able to stand on. We want to protect this region so that we can build the Chongalguk nations of the world who can recognize our true parents. We pray through this meetings we can fulfill the very important condition of laying the foundation of substance, united with true mother, President Hori, Reverend Yamada, and the national leaders in our nations. By doing this, I do believe, Father, we can create conditions for true parents, Holy Spirit, to occupy this region. So with this in mind, we gather together this morning to join hearts together and able to listen attentively. I offer this prayer in the name of Jeffrey and Yuki Fais, who represent the Fais Central Best family. I pray, Jew.
Jew. Thank you. So let's give a warm welcome to Reverend Yamada as he shares with us this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Thank you for coming this morning, Fundoke, for in the Oceania, this beautiful region and also beautiful nation of 14 nations in this place. So each single moment, really precious time. And this morning, first moment of the morning, to offer our heart to our heavenly parents and true parents, and to spend together with all our brothers and sisters. This moment is a precious time. So today also we will begin the new day. Let's create beautiful and grateful moment. So today is the Monday. Let's have a great day. Thank you very much. So yesterday, we really appreciate every time you show and you share your heart. And also yesterday, you show your determination. Those, we are talking about the Danbury imprisonment in the American Providence now, but those challenging or difficulty or crucial situation in the society is not only that Danbury imprisonment time or past situation. Even currently, there are many kind of challenging or difficulty or crucial moment was existing in our society, in our nation, and in the world. That's why there is many God's providence, heavenly parents, environment, prepared person were there, but in the same time, also the Satan's influence, satanic attacking is coming together. So we have to see to the society, we have to face the society well, and we have to accept and prepare and have to overcome. So our attitude, our mindset is important. And yesterday in the Australia Sydney Sunday service, our Reverend Stone shared the sermon and also gave the message talking about neo-communism. There is many kind of element was here, and our side we have to prepare also the causa too. How we can prepare and how we can suggest and show the message to the society. This is really important. So we have to study well more and centering on our will, centering on our heaven's will, then we can find what kind of role we have to take in this current situation. So each single moment we can also learn and realize, and we can prepare, find our role and responsibility in the current era, even for the future era. So let's continue today also the contents. So yesterday we are sharing about centering on the Danbury imprisonment, and father entered to the prison, and that time mother invite all leaders and blessed family just 2 days after the day when the father entered to the Danbury prison. So that message was, the main topic was the harvest the victory. So how was the mother's message yesterday? That message really, we could see mother's direct message. So when the father entered to the prison, how was mother's heart, and how was all leaders' environment and situation? And as a mother who are taking responsibility in the world providence, how was her determination and how she showed and how she spent the time with father? And our member, our blessed families and leaders, we many times determine in front of heavenly parents and true parents how much we are carrying on those determination seriously, and how we are fulfilling those things, and what kind of deed we can show to our next generation. So we could see in each moment we have to invest ourselves. So today also I want to continue the second half of True Mother's message before going back to the True Mother's autobiography. So this is also many messages I want to focus to read more, the contents of Trumada's yesterday's message, second half. So second part, mother also sharing the relationship and also explanation about father's environment inside of prison. So mother especially sharing about father's good point or situation inside of the prison more than father's difficult point. So please imagine July 22nd, 1984, just 2 days. This is the first meeting after father entered to the Danville prison. So how was all leaders or all British families feeling? You know, to father was absolute center in the unification movement at the moment, right? Father is absolute center, and that father now entered to the Danville prison. And how about all leaders and how about all British families feeling now? Everyone saw that father encouraged all members and now entered to Danville prison. Many people are worried so much. Many people cannot imagine how was father's situation now and how was his treatment and environment inside the prison. Many people is worried, many people is really concerned and thinking. And mother went to the prison and came back, and she is now sharing first time to our all members about father's situation. So today this message, this environment is like this. So we can imagine we are now standing that place. Now mother came back from the prison and she is sharing to us. So let's read today also. Roommate sincerely welcomed father. July 21st, the day after father was incarcerated. The 6 older children and I drove to visit him in the camp at 8 a.m. I didn't know how father had spent the night, and I was worried about how he was. I worried about how he would look and trembled while I waited to fill out certain forms. Then father appeared. He met David Hagar, who was there filling out more forms, smiling. David went to him and they shook hands. Then father spent time mostly with the children and me. I wondered why father is so absolutely natural in any circumstances. This morning, father told me he has lots of friends already. His roommates feel exuberant having father join them. They sincerely welcomed father, volunteered certain assistance, and were coming and going and greeting him. He expressed to me this morning that he felt the people truly have no hostilities. So father is sharing and telling to mother what was inside the situation. Maybe many of you had heard about the story inside of Danbury prison. Even we read the True Father's autobiography, we could read the father's experience or father's situation or story inside of Danbury prison. So please imagine if your beloved person enter to the Danbury prison, then how and what kind of feeling you could have. So through mother's testimony, we can imagine how true father is spending life inside the prison and how true father felt and how true mother felt. So when father entered there, all of them welcomed true father and true father made a friend already. So can you imagine that? Just 1 or 2 days, father already made a lot of friends inside of prison. So really father is already have a big influence and really great. If you enter to the prison, what do you think? Can you make friends? I'm not sure. Really 1 or 2 days. Maybe father himself is also, if the person who enter the prison, that person himself is really nervous and really worry, but already make a influence, friend, make a friend inside the prison. Wow, really father's life is different. And also, how was father's situation? If it were to come in with a false accusation, father's case is almost enter the prison with false accusation. If I go to the prison with false accusation, how much resentful, angriness, those heart with me, with that person together. But really father case, just go there and father determined to liberate hell inside of the prison. So even from the beginning, our father's sharing those things and gratefulness. Of course, father feels that this occasion, this confinement has a special and deep meaning, more than anyone of us can imagine or even understand. Father himself knows there is some much greater meaning in his confinement. At this point, father telephoned. Mother spoke to father on the phone. Members shouted Mansei, messages of encouragement and pledges of victory to father over the phone. You wonder how father fares in the camp, in the prison, what father wears, and certain other things. And I am sure you are anxious to know, right? What I saw father wearing was like a military surplus uniform. It was just khaki, top and bottom. Every piece of clothing has been government issued, including shoes. Not leather shoes, but cloth shoes. They are not like sneakers, but are more like a military shoe. So to father enter there to liberate hell and liberate hell. And that time during Tirumada is giving the speech, father called to mother. So everyone shouted to the phone and shouted to Tirumada. Shouted to Tirufada. Man say encouragement and really give the message to be victory. So really we can imagine how that kind of environment. You can see mother receive the phone, all member gathering in front of mother and shouting to Trufada. So really we can see, we can imagine that scenery. Wow, that's how much excitement that moment with Trumada. When father suffered incarceration in Korea, both North and South, he was given a prison number. They print out the number and it looks like merchandise. But in Danbury, they do not have that kind of system, no number, nothing, not even the name posted. So I was deeply comforted. I saw other inmates coming out and everybody was wearing the same clothes. They have a number on the back side here, just below the belt, not at all conspicuous. Father's shirt is like a jacket, which some people tuck inside the belt. On weekends, breakfast is scheduled at 10 a.m., really a brunch schedule, unlike weekdays when it's 6 to 8 a.m. I was there to visit at 8 a.m., so father hadn't had a chance to eat breakfast. Father said prison meals are served in a cafeteria system. So do you have some experience to enter to the jail before? Anyway, not easy. Really, you have an experience. Okay.
Only for work.
I see. Yeah. Okay, maybe you can share later those things. So if enter to the prison, what kind of environment, food or schedule, and also people who are visiting to for you, how much you are feel, how about your feeling, comfortableness, warmful heart or happiness, or those feeling. Only the person who have experience can share and can understand the same feeling with true father or the person who entered to the prison. So really, if you have an experience, that is really a precious experience also. I said, Father, you have had no breakfast. You have to eat something. You must be very hungry. Father said, no, I ate breakfast already. All the inmates came and brought me cookies and candies and said, Reverend Moon, please have this. It's not so special, but I want you to take some of it. So the very first morning, everybody came to greet Father and give him cookies, tea bags, etc. The visitors area is a kind of simple lounge. There is, of course, no restaurant or coffee shop, but there are a couple of vending machines with Coca-Cola and some sandwiches and little snacks. I bought some sandwiches and snacks and Coca-Cola and served Father. He stayed there many hours with the children and me. So we could imagine what's the environment inside the prison. Mr. Peter Kim, who is now assigned to be Father's assistant in Danbury, was there organizing some paperwork. He was not allowed to go where Father was, but he did have a chance to meet other inmates. One inmate came to him and said, you know, I introduced myself to Reverend Moon. I shook hands with Reverend Moon. Then he said to Mr. Kim, don't worry, I will serve Reverend Moon very faithfully. As long as I am here, I am his servant. I will serve him. I will invite him to go out and exercise, and I will do anything. Particularly, I can see that Reverend Moon is a little overweight, so I am going to help him take off his belly. Also, I will help him with English words. So some inmates sharing those messages to Peter Kim and also sharing to Trumada. So when Trumada heard that story, someone is always supporting and helping. How about how much mother was comforted and very happy. Some person already recognize the father's value and father's identity already to support, assist, and serve to father. So we could see, so because inside the prison looks like anybody can meet freely in each other. So we can imagine the inside of prison environment. While I was there during visiting hours, there were a lot of visitors who came to meet other people there. Most of the people coming out were white, some prominent people and some black people. But there were predominant white people there in that camp. The impression that people gave me is a very good one. They are not hostile. Also, they appear to be genuinely good people, very gentle and conducting themselves very well at the time. So looks like mother's first impression was good in the prison and the environment. So mother was sharing. Oh, just a minute. One message. One message was, one page was missing. One page was missing, I was read. The pray for father's safety. Appearance, there is some system organized that will get information from inside of the inmate's situation. In other words, they are monitoring very closely what is really going on inside the cells and domes. There seems to be a certain system on informer so that any unusual kind of activities can be noted. The prison official received a sort of first night impression report from their own system. People are genuinely impressed with Father, and they welcomed him. They are all trying to be cooperative with Father. There was no tension of any kind. There were about 40 or 50 people in the dome. However, we could not say that every one of them is a saint. There must be some bad ones, I'm sure. We, therefore, have to pray for the safety of our dear Father. This is one of your important mission. Because one slide was missing, I was sharing. So mother said, looks like in the imprisonment, looks like peaceful, but there must be some bad one inside the prison also. So our mission, our responsibility, we have to pray for Father's safety, mother said. The particular camp was newly built a couple of years ago, originally for women prisoners. The domes were prepared for women, so it was a surprise to Father that when he went into the bathroom, there were only women's facilities there, no men's facility. All prisoners who are there participate in certain chores and labor. There are many kinds of labor with morning and afternoon hours. They give 8 hours of labor. Sometimes they go to the factory to sew garments. Sometimes they work in the fire department. Sometimes they do maintenance or garden work, kitchen or dining room work. Father wants to be available to meet with visitors anytime they come. So Father just mentioned to me over the phone that he will work in the dining room. So mother explained the detailed situation inside the prison. So member, people could imagine. Act within reason. The day before Father entered the prison, official received information that some people, members, religious people, and very excited and passionate people who are mad at the government were going to cause a disturbance. Some Veritone members wanted to demonstrate by laying down on the road to block the car so that Father's car could not move into the prison. I ask all members not to do things like this, although I understand your feeling. Your feeling is also important, but you are here to serve and help Father. Anything that doesn't help Father is no good. So in order to minimize Father's suffering, it is not good to demonstrate or to show displays of emotion. You must act within reason. So can you imagine some member also did like this, lay down on the floor, Lord, and stop Father's car to enter to the prison and demonstrate. So I think some of you share the testimony that time member was prohibited to enter to the Danbury state, right? So I think really many members showing and demonstrate and showing this kind of emotion. So this is not helping Father, some kind of giving the negative influence to the Father. So mother is explaining to the members, I can understand your feeling, but please act with some reason. We have Mr. Kim there at Danbury headquarters, who will schedule a list of meetings with Father. You have to go through the channels. Do not do anything unwise, not only you, but tell the other members the same. Members should not take the law into their own hands and try to do something over there. That is absolutely undesirable. Finally, I would like to give you this. I gave my impression of the first day's visit to give you a little bit of comfort, but we must realize two things. One, father is without security, so he is exposed. Please pray for him. Two, prison is not the place that father should stay. Father is our true parent, the leader of the world. He is the Messiah, the King of Kings. We must do everything we can to shorten his time there to a bare minimum. I want you to realize this. So mother emphasized 2 points. One is father is without security. So whenever true father organize the speech or rally in the States of America, every time they receive the message, some terrorism, somebody is trying to attack father, try to kill father. So all difficult situation or dangerous situation was happened before in any speaking tour in the States. That's why inside the prison is also same. If someone try to hurt him, anything will be possible. That's why mother said, father is without security and he is exposed. Please pray for him. And second one, father, the prison is not the place that father should stay. Father is our true parent, the leader of the world. He is Messiah, the King of Kings. So we must do everything we can. So mother, sharing the first day things with true father to all our leaders and our members. So mother share and try to comfort members, encourage the members. This is the only time in history that we can do something about this. When we do something about this, results will come. That result will be victorious one, the liberation of our true father from prison. That is our goal. And now you must move forward for its achievement. Thank you, everyone. So this is the mother's first day message after true father entered to the Danbury imprisonment. So how was message from yesterday and until today? Mother already stood up. Of course, she has many kind of feeling because suddenly father entered the prison and there are many kind of responsibility and environment toward to mother. So she has also many kind of feeling. She want to have deep prayer, deep concerning, and also remind and reflect and prepare for the future. But mother also came out to the members and deliver the message and encourage the message, what we should do, what kind of attitude we should have. We have to repent and we have to determine and we have to show and we have to give encouragement to the Father together and also victory to our true Heavenly Father, Heavenly Parents together. So through this message, we could find how Mother standing in front of us and in front of our brothers and sisters. Then our 13 months time period had started from that day. So we could see during 13 months how father and mother cooperate together. Father is inside the prison to fulfill his providence in the prison, and mother is outside the prison to fulfill her responsibility and mission with all our blessed families in America, in also all over the world. So True Mother gave several messages, but mostly the expression and this kind of a explanation of Danbury prison, this first sentence was detailed with True Mother's expression. That's why I choose and I share the first message of True Mother. So from tomorrow, I go back to the True Mother's autobiography to share the more contents talking about ICOS, conference of ICOS, and also conference about the professor, the World Peace Academy. So there are another activity. So once again, we can see how when True Father entered the prison and how true mother communicate, welcome, and talk and share the message to our leaders. So now we are living in 2021, but those matter is not only just the number imprisonment time. Our mother's determination and heart is same, and father's expectation and determination is also same, even he is in the spiritual world. That's why we are as leaders, we are as blessed families, we are as the filial son and filial daughters. We will connect with our heavenly parents' heart, true parents' heart. Then let's move and let's go forward to the society, nation, and world. So thank you for our brothers and sisters to join this morning Fundoke. Let's create a beautiful day, beautiful moment, and offer the happiness, victory to our heavenly parents and true parents. Thank you, everyone. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Reverend Yutaka, as always. Very enlightening and helping us to understand very clearly about the situation in Danbury that Mother is sharing with us. I have a lot of experience in prison, not as an inmate. I worked in a prison for some time. Here in Queensland, they have a school within inside a prison. And so I was in a juvenile prison, and all the inmates were from 10 up to 17, just before 18. After 18, they go into the adult prison. And they're all there for various crimes, from mostly stealing and drugs, some for murder, and it's a very violent place, and very so I found it really interesting and unusual that Father was greeted well, because mostly new people are greeted very suspicious. They're not greeted like Father was there, received, and even made friends the first day. It's really unusual, because my very first day there, my classes were made up of 6 students, because that's as many as you could have together, and there was a prison guard together in the room, and my first meeting with one of the, I was about 17-year-old boy, he put his hand down his pants, he peed on his hand, then brought it out and gave it to me to shake, and that was his greeting. And he was testing me, and all the others were watching and testing, and even the prison guard was watching to see my reaction. So I looked at him, and I just shook his hand and looked him in the eyes and smiled and said, well, thanks for greeting me. And then I wiped my hand on his shirt after that. So they're very, so I mean, yes, they're immature, but then again, I think a lot of the male prisoners are also immature, and would be a lot more harsh. Anyway, I worked there all up for about 3.5 months, and then went on to a different thing. But so prison life is not, so what I'm saying is that welcoming from inmates and people there is very unusual from the experience I saw, and also other teachers and other people that work there. It's so that's quite a unique thing. Yeah, thank you. Just who would like to share? Yeah, Doug, go ahead. And then after that.
Yeah, this was, as we discussed in the last couple of days, very intense period of time. And alongside of this was the development, like the death throes of communism. They didn't know they were dying. Father was predicting that they were dying, but they thought they were on top of the world. So they were lashing out and doing whatever they want without any conscience or fear of consequence. Key thing is they had no fear of consequence. So it turned out that a Korean airliner was shot down over the Sakhalin Islands, and our members under Dr. Suk, I was in CARP at that time, so it was going through a big transition. It had been raised under Tiger Park when I was not there, and then Dr. Suk was now in charge, and even the New York Center was going through a change. We had one elder American brother who our members went from 18 to 36 members in a period of a few months. And then another leader came in and everything was different. Sometimes that causes some challenge, you know. But anyway, he did something very interesting, this new leader. He had a communist background before he joined the church. And he really felt that we had to answer these terrible things that the Soviet Union was doing. So in a sense, through his leadership, we had a chance to do the very things that we wanted to do in support of Father, like lay down on the road, you know. And there was two things. One went on in Washington, the other one went on in New York. So in New York, when the Korean airliner went down, for the first time in a long time, Americans were really upset. This was a real key turning point. And we wanted to cement that in the minds of America, never to forget this, you know, and get it lost in the dust of history. So we decided under this new leader's leadership to throw red paint upon the Soviet embassy. I think it was on 67th Street. So we went there about 9 o'clock in the morning, and we waited there for 2 hours, and the whole street was barricaded because America was really angry at the Soviet Union. And the whole street was barricaded. Only police on horses on the street. So we were at the end of the street. The Soviet embassy was in the middle of the street. And we were there for 2 hours, just basically having coffee and donuts with the police, you know, at the barricades. And they were enjoying just talking to us and the thousands of people that were outside. And then someone said, "Go!" And all it was 9 of us. We just jumped over the barricades, pushed down the barricades, ran down the street with these red balloons filled with red paint, you know. And just before we got to the Soviet embassy, every one of us were caught. So there's red paint all over the street. 2 policemen were hurt. They fell off the horses. We were all arrested, and we were put into jail, and we were called, we were going to be listed as terrorists, you know, for the activity. And we just stayed there with no word for 4 hours. And then headquarters must have been working really hard, calling in the right people. So after 4 hours, the policeman came to our jail and he said, "Why didn't you tell us what you were going to do? We would have helped you." It was that kind of feeling. And they let us out, and they had a very positive, impressed feeling with us that we wanted to fight back and to make this statement. While that was followed up in Washington, D.C., when the Soviets took over Grenada, you know, and we didn't want to let that stand. So we wanted to really fight back and say, we have to do something. And at the same time, a leftist organization had inspired Jesse Jackson to lead 30,000 people down in front of the White House in a big march, in a big campaign. And there was about, I don't know how many CARP members, maybe 60 CARP members. We said we can't let them just steal the headlines all the time and denigrate every effort that Reagan is making for international order and peace. You have to stand up against the bully, otherwise you're going to get, you know, hurt. So we didn't want to let this stand, and they decided to call 12 CARP members. So I wasn't one of them, but 12 CARP members chained themselves from the chain of the White House, the gate of the White House, across the Pennsylvania Avenue to the other side where a fire hydrant, and literally stopped 30,000 people for about an hour, you know? And the newspaper coverage had nothing to do with the 30,000 people. It was all about the 12 people that chained themselves and why they did it, you know? So we got all the headlines and we stole the thunder from that entire thing. So that's an example. And they were, of course, arrested, you know? But yeah, that's about it. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Douglas. Thanks. Okay, go ahead now.
Good morning, everyone. It's really quite liberating to hear Mother's report of how Father was treated well in prison. It's comforting because it makes sense. I mean, it's yeah, Father has said that he has gone to Danbury to liberate hell, and so to hear a mother say that he was treated well is really good. It's like yeah, restoration of the past prison experience that he had. So it truly was yeah, a liberated situation, a restored situation of prison life and experiences. Yeah, that's really good to hear. I think around that time, either late 84 or early 85, actually, yeah, the world missionaries, like throughout the world, who had gone out in 1975, and current missionaries had a 120 days workshop in upstate New York resort. I remember, yes, it would have been late 84 to 85, that time, yeah. That was a difficult time for me. Yeah. Anyway, in my work with the court, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of checkpoints as you go through prison, and but yeah, there are different levels, of course, of prison, and I think Father was at a very minimal security prison, perhaps. I've gone to different prisons, like women's prison, high security and low security, and youth prison. Yeah, it's quite hostile in the serious high secured ones. There's just hell. Sometimes it's like you see in the movie, it's very like I've gone right inside, and it's just different. It's but the prisoners are more, they have two lives, when they want to be nice, they show their nice side, but when they are with other inmates, then they have to show their other side, to survive. And you feel sorry for the new ones that are going there for the first time, because there's a culture in prison. There's a culture where those who are experienced can harm the new ones and make the new ones do certain things. It's just hellish. So yeah, it's good to know that Father didn't have to go through all that in his last time in prison. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Suntek, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
morning, brothers and sisters. Thank you, Reverend Yamada and Reverend John. Yeah, we read about mother's testimony about father's imprisonment. I feel there's a great message inside this episode of father's life, but also it reflects two parents' a difficult cause to guide humanity. Mother shared about father's life in prison, but father also autobiography share about his life. I think father autobiography also shares some initial difficulties that he faced in the prison before people recognize him. As we experience, prison is not a nice place to be. And father was born 1920, so when he entered prison, 1984, father already 64 years old. And being a Messiah and also have established such a foundation in America, and Washington Times, 82. So to be put in the prison is really like try to put a shame on father and really bring him down. But I really inspired by two fathers' mindset and attitude towards the difficulties that he faced, as well as two mothers' words really show her mindset and attitude when faced with all these difficulties that they face, and that's how they overcome. So really that is I think in our life too, each of us, our life, even though we have the ideal, we have the dream, but a lot of times we are facing difficulties every day, and situation that we didn't imagine we will be in, our family, our individual life. But I feel two father today and two mother today show us once again through Denbury that the way to overcome is our attitude and our mindset, how we treat our current difficulties and how we look at it and how we overcome. So I feel really grateful to get this message again today, this morning, from this reading. Just a second point from yesterday, a lot of sharing about the intensity of the time. We are fighting war, this and that, between Cain and Abel, and also secularism, neo-Marxism, all that. I'm really grateful that two parents have given us a solution, and that solution is in the family. I think the key is a family. Yeah. So I think the biggest enemy in America is not China or other external forces, but is the problem of the breakdown of the family. The breakdown of the family is the key problems in the society. So I was in America altogether 5.5 years. Almost 30 years ago, I was there as a student, and already at that time, divorce was my landlord told me he's not getting married. I said, why? He said because the divorce rate was 67% at the time. So he said, that's why I'm not getting married. I think that is the big problem. And our two parents have that solution. And I think if we are able as a movement continue to provide, and especially through our blessing and our family values, I think we can save the society, save the world. Not to worry, all the ideologies are out there, because when the families are strong, and if we are able to do that as a movement, I think we can overcome this challenge. Right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's time now for us to offer our unison prayer. So I'll just share the screen. And let's begin. Arju, Arju, Arju. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day, and see you next time. Okay, bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Thank you, Sanjay.
God bless you all.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Kathy.
Bye.
Bye.